Hey, what's up, Poet Nutrition team? Say today I've got a special guest for you who's going to share some thoughts. It's a person that I just admire and love, and a person that I think just exemplifies this humble heart that we've been talking about. It's Rick Melmer, who many of you know, and I've asked Rick to share some of his thoughts on humility. And Rick's actually the person that recommended the book, The Ideal Team Player, to me. So hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. Take it away, Rick.
Hey everybody, Rick Melmer here. Fun to think about all of you, wherever you are. Greg had asked if I'd be willing to just share a little bit on one of your daily videos, and I was of course happy to do it. I miss all of you. Just enjoyed so much working with the Poet team and just learning from you, and those are some of the more fond memories I have of the growth coach time, was just working with folks from Poet. I listened to one of Greg's videos where he talked about Lencioni's book, The Ideal Team Player, one of my favorites. It really does a great job of outlining the keys to effective team players. And today I thought I would just focus on the one that Lencioni says is the most important of the three qualities, and that is the ability to be humble. I was a dean at USD for 5 years, and I remember one day pretty vividly coming home after a day in the office where I had a list of things to do, meetings from back to back all day long, and I was pretty shot. I walked in the house. It's just my wife and I. Kids have already, of course, graduated and gone on, and the house looked sort of like a disaster area. I learned early on in our marriage to never ask the question, what did you do all day? Because I knew that was a non-starter. It wasn't a good idea to do that. But I did learn how to ask it in other ways, like, so what was today like? Or how was your day? And then I would find out what really happened. And oftentimes it might explain why things were kind of a little bit chaotic around the house. So that particular day I fell into my pattern of, so what was your day like? And I was frankly a little annoyed that there was nothing to eat. There was nothing kind of in place to move on with our day. And my wife Valerie said, well, Nancy called this morning, and Nancy was her friend that had terminal cancer, and she said I could tell she needed somebody to talk to and wanted to know if I was busy. So I went out to Nancy's house, and what I thought was going to be about a 1-hour visit turned out to be about a 4-hour visit, where we talked and I helped her with a few things and kind of just spent the day with Nancy. Well, as you can imagine, by the time she finished telling me that story, I felt pretty crappy about myself, because what I'd realized was that I had spent the entire day doing things to eliminate items on my to-do list. Valerie spent her day eliminating things on somebody else's to-do list. She was meeting the needs of someone else. That's what humble people do. Humble people think about others more than they think about themselves. In Lencioni's book, I loved one of the quotes about the idea of the humble quality when he said, humble people don't think less of themselves, they think of themselves less. I'm never going to forget that, and frankly I live with someone that models the idea of humbleness every day, all the time. She's always more interested in other people's needs than she is her own. So as we think about how can I be a humble leader, one of the things is to remove obstacles so that other people can lead and do their jobs more effectively. The best leaders find ways to help other people be more successful. I'm preaching to the choir as I'm sharing this because you folks have this figured out at Poet. The reason why you're still in your leadership role is because you know what humble leaders do. But I thought it was a good reminder for me, and I've never forgotten the story in Vermilion about a time when my wife really met the needs of someone that needed her. My hope is that you'll do the same today. Thanks for the opportunity to share with you today, and continue fighting the good fight. Thanks.